I started this 6 years ago, so this is Art on the Plaza 6, number 6, although the fourth one became something else. We did an art crawl because that was right in the middle of COVID. And so gathering people together in a situation like this wasn't going to work. So what we did that time was I had people put art on their porches in West Allis and out on the plaza here and at Inspiration Studios, which I own a few blocks away. But art on the plaza, it's a wonderful use of the space. I mean, we've got a wonderful plaza out there. We've got a wonderful gallery here. So I've expanded it. The first year I had 4 artists and I had face painting out there, outside, 4 artists inside, face painting outside. People made some art out there, food trucks, ice cream, things like that, Pete's Pops. And it has grown. This year I've got, I think it's 15 artists. I've got an artist out there doing family art making with children. I've got the West Allis Library here promoting the book through Waukesha Reads, Opal Anu, and Broadway Bound Wisconsin. High school kids who've got a new theater company that I helped form last year. They performed some, and we've got a salsa band playing. It's all different. Every year it's different, and it's growing. This is the largest number of people today that, of all these events that I've had.
I got started during COVID. A friend of a friend did a Zen Tango workshop on Facebook Live. And if anybody wants to know more about it, you can Google it, but it's a lot of drawing patterns and in a little grid, and it basically got you to realize that anybody can be an artist and anybody can draw. And then I went on from there. I discovered watercolor, so most of my stuff has a watercolor background, and then I do an ink drawing on top of the watercolor, or in some cases like this one, I do the ink first, and then I do the watercolor in. It started with COVID, and after that I just kind of kept going. And I keep taking different workshops and learning new skills. A couple people have told me to get in touch with Erico and Inspiration Studios. And I started a Facebook page just for my art. And a friend of mine shared it with Inspiration Studios. So I stopped in by him and started chatting with him, and then just decided, hey, how do I get in to do this out on the plaza? I was going through some stuff, and I read a book by Brene Brown called Rising Strong. It was kind of a self-help book, and it really changed the way I looked at life, so I started drawing this. And the sunflowers kind of represented to me reaching out for the sun. So I thought, oh, rising strong. So every time I look at this drawing, I think of rising strong. So it's just kind of inspirational to me.
Well, I actually got inspired because I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2014, and my daughter got me a art set and paper, and that started my whole journey, and it just kept going from there into paint and glass and whatever, and I love it. It's my solace. I've had a really great time here. The people are fantastic. I can't say anything bad about it. It's been a really nice experience. I usually use acrylics, but I do have watercolors. I do use pencils, colored pencils, usually prism pencils. It's pretty much whatever I want to do.
Art's been a lifelong hobby of mine, so a lot of these have just been produced through the years. They're the originals. I'll do anywhere from 30 to 80 hours into a piece, so I do prints of my originals. And last year was my first year out with Inspiration Studios, and it's been a great year so far. Oh, it's been fantastic this year. A lot of great people, a lot of appreciation for the artwork. Depending on the piece, some of them I have a plan in when I go in. Most of my reptile stuff, I use a photo or I use a specific species for inspiration. I work off of that. All of my work is ballpoint pen and alcohol inks. And then with like something from nothing, infinite testudium, those started out as kind of doodles that started doodled for an hour or two and then picked it up and in 2 hours turned into 10 hours, turned into 40 hours, turned into 50 hours, and that's kind of the final product that came out. And then the black and white turtles, the majority of those were drawn on plane rides. I'm an anxious flyer, so I doodle turtles when I'm stuck in a plane.
This was fantastic. The first time I've done it, the organizer, Erico, was my high school teacher. And so I did a show with him, an exhibit with him last year in October, and he mentioned the art on the plaza, so I was very interested. The people, they were very interested in hearing about the art and the techniques that I use, and some of them knew about paint pouring, which is what I do. Some of them did not know about paint pouring, and they were interested in seeing some of the tools that I use, pastry brushes and hair dryers and balloons and different things like that. Paint pouring or acrylic flow, what you do is you mix the acrylic paint with some pouring medium, and then you move it around the canvas. You pour it on the canvas and you move it around using different tools. Paintbrush, pastry brushes, chains, balloons, paper towels, hair dryer, straw, sometimes just my fingers. So this is dragons. Usually I try to plan out what I'm going to be pouring, but it doesn't always turn out. This is one of the ones that wasn't exactly what I had planned, but sometimes I'll take a look back. Take a step back, take a look at it again and see what I see in there, and I saw a dragon in there. Here's the head, the eye, the mouth, and the fire. So I added the fire afterwards so that you can really pick out the dragon in there.